Hi, Paul.
Hello.
Welcome. You've been with us already a few weeks ago, making another podcast, so it's great to have you here again. Paul Reed, EMEA Regional Product Manager at Zebra. And together with you today, again, Felipe, how are you?
Hello.
Felipe, EMEA Brand Manager in Blue Star, taking care of the whole Zebra range. So, nice to see you again here. So today we're going to be addressing something which, to my eyes, represents a kind of concept which might be not only linked to a certain line of product, but could be becoming also a complete strategy within company proposals. So we are going to be talking about connecting workers. And connecting workers is something which may look obvious, especially nowadays. But when it comes to what it really needs, what it really means, what or how it should be done, and what we want to get from it, things are getting much more complicated. We are seeing many individuals getting connected around, older people with safety phones to communicate any incident, having at the same time smartwatches tracking almost everything. So let's try to bring this concept down to earth. We're all connected: smartphones, tablet, PCs, 4G, 5G, even 6G in the future. So what else do we need? Why more?
Well, I think what we need more because there's this global drive for digitalization.
Yeah.
Everybody needs information. It's about having the information you need at your fingertips to do the job that you need to do. And therefore, giving more and more people a connected device, a real-time device, means that they can make the best decisions right there, right at the point that they're doing the work. None of this, I've got a phone, I've got to go look this up, I've got to make some notes, or go away and come back a second time. They can be much more effective the first time round.
Yeah, okay. But is this also about sharing information between all the workers that are connected?
Definitely, yeah, because obviously if you've got a service engineer out there working and they come across a fault in, a photocopier, then they can then share that with their colleagues. Suddenly everybody knows that, I've just spotted this one, watch out for it, here's something that we can all get better at. Yeah, sharing information, really, really crucial.
Yeah, sharing information is absolutely critical. And I assume we are not talking only about giving a phone to a worker, right? I mean, it cannot be so simple.
No. I mean, a phone is it's just a phone. You can make and receive calls. Yeah. You need the apps. You need some way of connecting into your business intelligence, whatever tool that is. You need to know what your next job is. You need to know where the inventory is coming from. It's got to be a complete solution. Also, just bear in mind, a phone, it's all well and good phoning somebody, but somebody's then got to look it up.
Yeah.
So if you've got it at your fingertips, that's where you get the real difference.
That's great. But what is it? It's not even what is. Is there a market demand for that? Of course, we know that the people wants to be connected. We know that the people wants to have as many devices possible around. But what is the main demand from the market? What is the main demand that the professional market is requesting from us?
So I think actually it's our own fault. I think as consumers, we're driving it.
It's your own personal fault.
Right?
I agree.
But if you think about it, when we place an order for something from an internet retailer, we want to know that it's available. We want to know that it's shipped. We want to know that it's getting towards us. We want to know that it's in that 1 hour delivery window. So because we want to know all of that, then these enterprise customers have got to have technologies that are actually reporting, it's gone onto a van. That van coming out to you. Do be at home for 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock because this thing's coming. No, our driver's had some traffic issues. They're running late. So we're the ones that have actually sort of changed this need for the workers to be connected and giving that real-time information. So yeah, it's our fault.
And I can also imagine that the infrastructure, is a critical part in this. We are living in a world where the infrastructure is providing connection possibilities to an unlimited level. And we are coming from the Bluetooth to Wi-Fi. We are coming from the GSM to 4G, 5G. So how is that interacting? How is this, let's say, infrastructure making the companies take the right decisions?
So that's a really interesting one because I'd always assumed that newer technology was available everywhere. And I was talking to a customer recently and we were talking about 5G enabled devices.
Yep.
And they were going, we don't need 5G. you don't need 5G.
You sure?
Yeah. We've worked on really small data usage for our delivery drivers. We are out in areas where there's sometimes no coverage, and so it was like, sorry, no coverage, not kind of used to that concept. I mean, for me, I live in airports, I live in hotels, majorly built up areas. I've always connected. But so I think enterprise customers are thinking about, well, some areas we have no coverage, but other areas we've got this full coverage. And that full coverage, though, can really bring some new changes. Imagine you're a remote worker and suddenly you can get a video down to your phone with the latest health and safety training.
Yeah.
It's a 2-minute video, but having 5G obviously means you can download it instantly, watch it, tick, I've done my health and safety training for the day, rather than having to go to an office, sit there for half a day's worth of training to catch up on it so that the company can then say, yes, we've trained you properly.
Yeah, I think that's one of the common things, right? A lot of people says, yeah, sorry, I don't need this. Well, are you sure you don't need it? You might think you don't need it, but in a certain way, from the efficiency perspective, you need to incorporate this kind of technology sooner or later, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think also that. By the way, let me make you one question, Paul. Recently we have also a podcast, and someone was speaking about 5G replacing Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, etc., as a networking infrastructure. In a company. Do you believe so?
So that's one we are seeing people consider. So 5G has specific benefits over Wi-Fi.
Correct.
So the benefits are around latency. It can be more quick to respond. And also you can have more devices packed into an area. So we are seeing some customers actually looking at the future. Do they replace their Wi-Fi networks with 5G? And the other benefit that they're looking at is that they don't have to pay all the wiring costs.
Correct.
So if you imagine you've got a large factory, how much wiring have you got to run from access point to access point? You've got to provide power down there. You've then got to manage all of those and keep them updated. Well, what if you had one 5G mast that was covering your entire facility? Suddenly, it's a very different concept. So we're actively engaged in that move. We're looking at how that changes some of the devices we provide, because our devices historically have been designed inside and outside the four walls.
Correct. Is that a reality? I mean, have you got experience with customers or end users changing or replacing Wi-Fi by 5G?
So I do know of a couple of customers. I can't share the names today.
No. But I just wondering if it's happening. It's not only a chat or talk.
No. They have 5G devices today.
Correct.
And they are testing those inside their four walls to see how realistic they are. The interesting thing is they're already hitting bumps in the road. Obviously, an IT department is used to deploying Wi-Fi devices.
Yeah.
Suddenly, how do they deploy that many 5G devices in a building is a bit of a new environment. So there are some challenges. But it's coming. It's
happening. So what I heard is really happening. Hey, Felipe. Also, I think we need to also to realize that when the technology is evolving so fast, a lot of customers might be thinking, hey, is it wise to change the technology now? Should I change it now? Maybe it's not really able to fulfill the future needs. So I think cost of ownership is one of the key elements that can really drive into this change of technology. If we are able to ensure that the technology that we are implementing today is going to be valid in a few years too, right?
Obviously, yeah.
And compatible.
For sure. I mean, any new technology that is appearing to the market brings a lot of attention, attention for the end users, for the resellers, also seeing some market opportunity. So, what will be, in your opinion, what will be the main catching solutions that we can get from this connected work, so to have everyone connected at the same time?
So I think, first of all, 5G is an emerging technology within enterprise customers. I'll caveat that. But 4G is so well established, it's proven, it's out there, the devices are out there. We're going to continue investing in 4G devices, so they're not going away. So I think customers need to think through, what is it that they're actually trying to do? Do they need those newer technologies? And let's be honest, 5G data plans are more expensive than a 4G data plan.
Yeah.
So from a business benefit, actually, is a 4G device today good enough for you? Or do you have aspirations to make that 5G move? So you kind of got to balance the two. And then the second element of that is actually, what applications are you going to do? What is the worker doing with the device?
Correct.
That's the element.
What for?
Yeah. I mean, there's no point giving someone a tool if they don't have a need for a tool, or it doesn't make their life that little bit better or easier. So it's that balance.
I think this is a very interesting point. Can we talk about some examples of how this technology is working in a very practical way? Okay, some of the examples that you might be involved in, right? So, what kind of solution, what kind of need you have solved, and how it has been done?
So. I think one of the ones I'd share is around some service technicians.
Yep.
We had customers that were going out. Sorry, customers. We had, they're our customers, but
Yes.
service technicians out
Correct.
there. They were going from job to job to repair items, but they didn't have a clear view of the inventory, spare parts that they had in their van. They also didn't always have access to the latest documentation and repair manuals.
Yeah.
And what that meant was they were then finding that they were doing return visits. They couldn't fix it the first time. So it cost them to go back twice. You've got a customer, someone that's actually using that machine, upset that it's broken for longer. So by enabling them with a connected device, suddenly they had everything at the forefront. They knew that actually if they needed this one spare part, their fellow technician who happened to be 3-4 kilometers away had one in his van.
Correct.
Could drop it off. That meant that within that 2-hour window they have completed that job. That machine is up and running, happy customer, all job done. It also means though then there's the benefit that now they know that they need more of those spare parts. Not only does the guy who didn't have one need one, but the one they borrowed. So how do they auto replenish that? So the impact of enabling those workers suddenly scales across the business.
So again, we are talking about having information timely, right? So now I'm thinking about all the IoT concept that we've been hearing since a couple of years.
Sounds like that.
I mean, is this something, it's an extension, it's something that is part of an IoT solution? How you see that?
Yeah, so I mean, IoT is the Internet of Things.
Sure.
So it's about more and more connected devices, whether they are autonomous, so data loggers. If I give an example, we're now seeing temperature sensors on trucks, recording the temperature all the time. That's an IoT device.
The cold chain solution, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So you've got that element. And if you then build in the connected worker, they're part of that. They're contributing towards this big data that we have. The more data a company's got, the more they can analyze, the more effective and efficient they can be. So absolutely, they're all connected in together.
Big data, big word, right?
Scary, no? I mean, I to be honest, I cannot imagine, I cannot even think in one single podcast, about anything that we have been recording that it doesn't come at the end to the word big data or IoT thing. So that's really the environment. This is really the frame that we are working in. Hey, you mentioned something about, touch computers. So that's a key element in this case, at least from the Zebra proposal, from your experience, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had connected devices, I think probably for about 20 years.
Yep.
They've evolved over the different generations, 2G, 3G, 4G. We've got 2 devices now with 5G enabled in them.
Yep.
So we're building out, but we have what we call TCs, touch computers.
Yep.
And we've kind of got a strategy that says we've got good, we've got better, and we've got best. So it really depends on what someone's looking for. And I guess for any reseller out there, really understanding what their customer wants to achieve and what their budget is kind of fits in. I mean, we see a lot of end customers looking at consumer phones and going, hey, this is good enough.
Yeah.
Well, is it? I mean, your deployment
across any single level of technology that we are dealing with.
So the question is then, is it a true return on investment? Right. If you've got to manage it, if it breaks, how much does it cost? So we've got TCs down that can fight and help against a consumer device, all the way up to the devices that are sort of, if you want mission critical, you want something that you can drop and can withstand the temperatures. So we've got all of those, and we continue to develop more.
All right. So you just spot something that is, of course, coming up into my mind every time when we talk about dealing with information, timely information, and connecting dots. In my imagination comes machine to machine. Talking to each other. So IoT. So that's an absolute good point. I also would like to let's say to make a last call. Maybe we should try to see what do we get. What is the call to action? In this conversation, what should a regular reseller, a regular VAR, understand that this is an opportunity for them in the market, right?
So I guess the first thing is, getting close to your customer, understanding what it is that they're trying to achieve. What do they really want to do with these devices? What are the workers trying to do? And what is the company trying to do? Are they trying to invest and look at new ways of doing things? Or do they just want something simple today that does the job that it needs to do? So I think understanding that firstly, understanding how important big data is to that customer today. As you said, we're all talking about big data. Some people are already thinking about that and understanding it. Some people are just starting that journey. So if they were looking at big data, they need lots of information back, then you might be looking at your 4G, 5G enabled devices because you're on quite a big journey. If they've already got a plan in place and they're already thinking, oh, we need minimal connectivity, go for some of the lower cost devices. 4G is good enough for those. Find that balance.
I think that's a good let's say call to action. You know, I wonder, you know, from the human being perspective, you know, if we want to be more connected or not. Yes, the more connected we get, the more tracked we are, and if we are individually choosing to be tracked because we are liking this personal device or this smartwatch or whatever, it's our choice. When the company is really forcing you to be connected, I wonder if the people is really willing and ready to be connected. I don't know how to answer that question, to be honest.
I think we've all got a choice to make. I mean, we know that we
you
are
want the job or not. Yeah. But okay. Apart from that,
well, no, part of that is that, but it also some of it is down to personal safety. If you are out on your own all day, then actually the fact that your employer knows where you are, should anything go wrong, actually they can then support you. So equally though, there's a right to privacy. So being able to then turn it off or disconnect it at the end of your work, absolutely. So it's a balancing act.
There are some advantages, some disadvantages, but at the end, it's your choice. If you want to use it or not, if you want to be connected or not, for safety reasons, for efficiency reasons, for all other kind of reasons, basically.
Hey, at the end, Felipe, you know, we all get a computer. In the work, we all get a phone, you know. So at the end, we can be tracked.
We've been seeing some movies about being spying by governments, etc. But I mean, this is the
governments spying.
Governments? No, I didn't say anything. Sorry, I didn't say that. No, but it's one of the things to be connected to the world, to be connected each other. I mean, again, it's a choice. It's a choice that we need to that we need to make.
There is certainly a big opportunity also in the market there, and then this podcast was not really about specific products, etc. It's much more about the concept of be aware. There is a market demanding things, and they demand things because there is an opportunity on efficiency, on healthy, on safety, on many other aspects, and this is really the message. Right?
And also the need to get the information on time. Fast, quickly, so we can react or can make some decisions that are critical sometimes, like in healthcare or in the accidents, fires, things. So there is a big need to be connected, basically.
So I just want to finish asking you one thing. It's not maybe asking, it's making a kind of thought, you know, having a kind of thought, which is talking about connected workers is not only about specific technology, it's not about a specific infrastructure, it's much more to have a kind of strategy behind that connection, right? What do you want to get? What for? And what kind of, and of course, then you can solve as a manufacturer, as a distributor, we can solve, okay, what do you need to achieve that point? But it's a complete strategy. You need to change a little bit your mind and have a strategy to connect your workers, correct?
Yeah, very much so. I think it's also about the fact that the workers need the right information at their fingertips at the right time. If you can achieve that, you're going to make your workers more productive and your business is going to improve.
That's for sure.
I have absolutely nothing else to add in that case. I think that was absolutely fantastic. So again, thank you very much indeed, Paul. Thank you, Felipe, for being here with me today. So see you in a few weeks, probably in the next podcast in something even more interesting than this. So thank you.
Thank you.